Hi everyone, hi and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is a event preview episode. This is my second preview of King of the Dot event. I started off doing one with Crafty, World Domination 6. I urge you to go back and listen, although I appreciate the preview is a weird beast of a video in the sense that its half-life is extended to kind of when the event's about to go down. So this gives it about 5 weeks in this case, and that's kind of what it has been on the average for the events that these get revisited. You know, I'd like to think they're nice conversations in general about battling. I was just saying to Laugh-N-Stalk, the guest, just before we went live here, one of the reasons these event previews are quite fun, at least I find this myself, Laugh-N-Stalk, I don't know about you just get a chance to talk about weird battlers or scenarios that normally just don't crop up.
Absolutely, yeah, and you get to build the hype because there are oftentimes on a card that has, more than 5 battles, there might be a name or two people aren't familiar with. Mm-hmm. So it's a great time to kind of season the uninformed and say, hey, you might not recognize this name, but we want to give you a heads up that this is something to look out for.
Yeah. I'm one of those uninformed. I hope to get seasoned because, I don't want to jump into the battles too soon, but there's people, I like battling, obviously, I know a lot, but someone like Urban the Element, I'm like, who?
Yeah, absolutely. And Urban the Element is one of those guys that, while a lot of fans hear the name and go, who, he has put in work, maybe not at a big enough level to get recognized as much as the rest of the card, but it needs to be explained that his participation in this event is appropriate because he is talented, he is someone to look out for. And, the biggest household names aren't always the names to look out for. Sometimes the unknown is the most exciting. If you're not familiar with someone, they're just as likely to be awesome as they are to be terrible.
Yeah, and no offense to Urban the Element, I am completely, don't know anything about you, astoundingly generic name.
Absolutely no. I've told him in the past that is the worst name to Google in the world. If you search that name, and he has a history of name changes. He's changed his names multiple times in the last few years, but he keeps resorting back to that one, which, bless his heart, if that's what he likes, stick with it. But you might want to narrow it down a bit if you're on an Urban the Element search.
Yeah, it's difficult. Like there was a British band about 10 years ago called A, and they were famously again like another like impossible A band UK, any sort of synonym you would use, you would struggle to find them, and they weren't that popular. Maybe that's a reason that contributed to it. But yeah, shout out Urban the Element. We'll get to that. First of all, I just want to sort of big up in general the bunker cards. They've been uniformly fantastic, and you've been lucky enough with Jeffrey to have a minor classic this year.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the bunker, I am very privileged to be a part of the bunker series. I've tried my best to stick out as a bunker guy because the first event, not only did I battle, I was there both days doing backstage interviews. The following 2 bunker events, I did the live pay-per-view commentary. I've never missed a bunker event. I'm a part of a YouTube channel that's run by the guy who owns the venue. So it's all about who you know. And I will ride Avocado's coattails all the way into the ground and say, hey, bunker, yeah, me too. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. And I don't think that there's obviously going to be bias, but I feel, and a lot of people feel, that every bunker event since its inception has just been awesome and a great atmosphere for battle rap.
Yeah, I watch, I say this jokingly, but, it is with some envy. Like, it's just so cool. It's a brilliant idea, executed effortlessly. I love that each event as well has its own individualized kind of style to the theming and to the battle matchup previews and such like that. This one, Battle of the Bunker with the B Magic Eness headline is what we're going to discuss shortly, with the kind of street LA with the orange and the black and white silhouette. It's excellent, man. Avocado does such a good job.
Oh, he really does. You can clearly tell that the man has a background in cinema, in movies, because he was the first and continues to be pretty much the only guy who treats every event differently as its own kind of project, gives it its own look and vibe, and has a real cinematic quality to it. Him and Clayton as well. They both clearly have a background in just making shit look tight. and their talent drips all over the Bunker brand, and I think that's what also helps make it seem really special.
And you know, aesthetics aside, J Pro and Avocado, as is played testament with this card, really smart matchups, like really good, intelligent matchups that both play to the narrative of King of the Dot and kind of like, you know, the up-and-comers, movers, etc., but also are just smart things that get people excited no matter what league it be on.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, obviously, you look at a main event like B Magic and Eness, and any league would want that. You know, that would fit well on a Summer Madness. That's something that Don't Flop USA headliner would be, and
Mickey Worthless would kill for that on King of the Ronalds. He would kill someone for that.
Absolutely, yeah. King of the Ronalds would throw a parade or rent out a cruise ship for a main event like that. It's just something that I think every battle fan would want to see. And if you're a battle fan who doesn't want to see B Magic versus Ness, then you just have terrible opinions.
No, that's completely fair, and we'll jump in. We're going to go from the bottom to the top. So from the battlers you might not know, I don't know a lot of these early battlers up until the headliner being Eness and B Magic headliner, and Laugh, hopefully you will help us here as we go through, because some of these people I don't know. I'm just not.
Absolutely, I would love to help with that, especially like the bottom, bottom battles, you know, are full of names I'm very familiar with, and I'd love to discuss.
Good. Because you know, again, I'm not kind of North American, or I mean that's not really an excuse, but I'm not. My nomenclature isn't familiar as such with the kind of minutiae of King of the Dot, including this battle that opens up. So Urban the Element we mentioned is going up against Word of Pley. I should spell that for you: WIRD of PLEY. Is this battle, I mean, on a kind of, you know, surface level, it is very PG-GZ-esque, isn't it, in the names, the misspellings?
The names are unique, obviously. These are two rap handles that catch people's eye. And I think it's very different because Urban the Element, admittedly, is a bit generic, you know. The only rapper I think I've met with a more, you know, indistinguishable rap name is a guy I met named Young One. Whereas Word of Pley, you know, obviously is a play off of, you know, Bird of Prey. And it stands out. It catches people's eyes. And this battle I am very interested in and excited about. The reason being, I'll give a brief background on both of these guys. Please. Word of Pley hasn't battled for quite a while, or at least not on a big stage. He used to be a King of the Dot regular. He battled Aftershock. He battled Uno Lavos on Grind Time. He had a really strong run, probably roughly about 5-6 years ago. This dates back to rapmusic.com. There used to be an audio platform of audio battles, and he was a big part of that as well. And he kind of hasn't been active lately, but he did have a very strong presence. At one point he was supposed to battle QP, and he had this wonderful interaction of calling QP on the telephone and posting it on rapmusic.com. This was legendary stuff years ago. So he's making a bit of I can't think of a more triumphant return for him to make than obviously at a Bunker event. Everyone would kill to make their return at the Bunker. Whereas Urban the Element, he has been fairly active in the California scene locally, especially for PNR in the last couple of years. But King of the Dot had a Ground Zero Grand Prix tournament a couple of years ago, and he made it all the way to the finals. He flew to Canada, battled Aftershock, lost, and the Aftershock barely got his title match like 2-3 months ago. So Urban the Element, you know, he worked his way up in the GZ level, but the last year or two, he really hasn't. You know, him not being a part of a Bunker event has been noticeable because he did go the furthest in the California division of the Ground Zero tournament. So him, you know, finally gracing the Bunker stage is a big deal for him. And it's just two guys that I think want to make a statement more than their opponent does. And so for one guy to come out of, I don't want to say retirement because battle rappers saying retirement is just awful. Yeah. One guy coming out of a long hiatus versus one guy who's been dying to get back onto a big stage like the Bunker. Is a lot of people might not know the names, but there is interest in both of these battlers, and both of them have something to prove, which I think is really awesome. And
just quickly, their styles, how would you describe their battling, you know, personas?
Word of Pley is a very aggressive. He is not afraid to, and he's a big guy. He's a big, intimidating guy. So he's not afraid to get in your mouth and scream and talk that shit. He's very talented. You know, he has some great lines in the past. You know, he's Uncle Jesse on a fucking jet ski. In the grind, he really hit a stride in the grind time era, and I think he will translate very well, no matter how long it's been since his last battle. He has a very strong presence that can dwarf, you know, anyone who doesn't have confidence on stage. Whereas Urban, he's very, you know, he has wordplay, he has punches, he has a very solid delivery. You'll never hear him stutter. He always enunciates very clearly. So if you don't get an Urban the Element punchline, it's not because he didn't deliver it well enough. It's because you just didn't get it.
Right.
So both, you know, they both show their cards right away in terms of their delivery, and it's a bit of a style clash. You know, Word of Pley, Urban the Element, let me tell you, is going to come up to Word of Pley's elbows. So one guy is going to be talking down to the other, and the other guy is going to be yelling up at the second. And it's definitely not going to be two guys trying to do the same thing better than each other. They're going to try and take different avenues. One's going to be a bit more punch heavy, and one's going to, you know, obviously going to have a bit more wordplay involved. But they're both very versatile. They don't stick to one thing too long, and I think they're going to cover a lot of ground just because of how talented they are.
No, excellent. And the next matchup is another two people who are kind of more of a kind of, if you're in the know in King of the Dart in this kind of realm, you'll be more familiar with. Two people that I kind of know, Essem sort of know. I know that he was on kind of another bunker card. Is it Derez?
Derez. I say Derez. It might be Derez. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Derez. Might as well just turn that E into a hyphen.
I really like him, man. I think he's really good.
Yeah, Derez is good. He comes from, I want to say, the Arizona Battle Rap League, which is barely getting his feet in King of the Dot or in Battle Rap in general. The Arizona guys have always had to travel kind of to get noticed, but until recently, King of the Dot has been going to them and showing us what you can do. So Derez is very talented. He battled Sam Colt at the bunker. They had a pretty good battle. And Essam, I don't want to sound biased, but Essam was on last week's Weekly Battle Feed.
Yeah.
And he is a friend of mine. But friendship aside, he is genuinely one of the most talented, if not the most talented, GZ writer in Cali right now. He had a really great punchline in his bunker battle against Alias the Addict that everyone was quoting for weeks on end, which is I've been battling before I got conceived. How is that? I used to battle in my dad's sack and the winner got to leave, which shook the room for more than both days. And so Essam, he's been battling forever. He has a lot of battles under his belt. He's battled guys like Reverse Live, Joe Cutter, both QPs at the same time.
What?
Yeah. It's an awful clusterfuck, so don't watch it for the right reasons. But he was scheduled to battle Clean Paper, ended up battling QP Sons, and then wound up battling both at once. And so he knows what it's like to have the spotlight on him. And he, again, battles a lot. He's actually battling Urban the Element only a couple weeks before this battle for PNR. But he is a guy who can write his ass off, and he has very hard to top stage presence. He's a great big fat guy with wonderful delivery, and it's going to be good. That's another battle that, even though the names might not be as household as the main eventers, definitely something to keep an eye out for, and it's going to be good. Yeah,
that's something that I'm really excited for. I've watched a lot of Derez, and recently the guy has a great energy. He's not necessarily the most original puncher. At times I found he had some fun lines, but he does have quite a live wire tension to his acts that I really enjoy, and he's very animated.
Absolutely. He carries himself very well in his delivery. His material, I don't want to, it sounds slanderous to say generic, but it's very palatable and very universal, that a lot of people can understand and comprehend. So I think it's going to be a great matchup, and you got to remember that at the bunker, if it's GZ, especially if it's GZ, these are guys who want to be noticed because that's the place to be. And they're going to try twice as hard as I'm sure at least a couple of the main eventers will.
So the next battle, good battle. Both of these people in this battle I really like. Madflex versus Heartless. Is it unfair to say Heartless maybe deserves a bigger name?
I'd go on a limb and say maybe Madflex deserves a bigger name. No offense to Heartless. Heartless is a legend. Heartless has just as much influence in the way people do their punchlines now as, guys like QP and Casita did. Heartless has a great resume of guys like Charlie Clips, B Magic, Calico, Danny Myers. He's battled top tiers. And so I think Heartless is such a nice dude that I think he just wants to be a part. He just wants to be a part of the fun. I don't doubt that Avocado was like, "Hey man, want to have some fun at the bunker?" And a Heartless response would be, "Yeah, give me whoever." Madflex, he's was that guy. Madflex is that dude, and it was the last couple weeks. A couple weeks ago, it was almost in the works, at least on Facebook, for Pat Stay versus Madflex. Pat Stay said, "Hey, Madflex, I'm a fan." Madflex said, "Hey, do you want to battle the GZ versus Main Stage?" And Pat Stay said, "Let's do it." I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a feeling it won't. But they both agreed to it, at least publicly. And the fans were like, "Oh, this is going to be amazing. This is great." So Madflex has done enough in his last few battles to grab the attention of the fans, along with the top tier battlers. And he excels on a bunker platform. He was, I think he was runner-up for performance of the night at the last bunker event. He just lost to Peanut by a few votes. So he is a guy that if you pay money at a door to see perform live, he's going to give you your money's worth. And I think the fact he's getting someone like Heartless is great. He deserves a name that'll kind of help get the shine that he's deserved with all the work he's put in. And the fact Heartless is the one doing it for him is awesome, because Heartless deserves great as well. And Heartless will get great by battling Madflex.
No, yeah, for sure. I think Heartless will bring everything, but he has been around forever, hasn't he? Heartless,
Heartless has been. Heartless started battling, in the dial-up days. So he's a guy that's been around forever, and he's been down every road imaginable. He's Smack, Don't Flop, Grind Time, King of the Dot. So thankfully, Heartless isn't one of those divas where he's battled everyone under the sun in every league under the sun, and he's not holding out for Mook. He's just kind of like, "Hey, let's fucking rap, let's go." And I think that attitude is going to mesh well with Madflex.
I watched Heartless versus Chronic recently on URL, and oh my god, it's terrible.
Is it?
Very bad battle.
It's funny because I was looking at the Heartless battles, and they have the little piece of the video description when you search for something. And for Heartless versus Chronic, it says, "This battle was not shot by Smack URL, so the quality isn't what you're accustomed to seeing from us."
Twiz, no, it's quite unpalpable. Yeah, it's very kind of ungainly on a stage with an ugly sort of advertisement of Al Capone kind of broadly across the back as Smack announced. I mean, Eness, not Eness. Sorry, I'm thinking of Eness, but it's the same kind of event. It's just this ugly kind of Heartless versus Chronic, not very good. But Heartless writing wise, I enjoy a hell of a lot. I think Madflex is more of a kind of complex, Heartless more indulgent in the wordplay in a more obvious sense. But this could be a fun one. I think Madflex probably will take this. Even though I say Heartless deserves better, I think maybe you're right. Madflex is a bit more of an exciting prospect.
Yeah, I mean, Madflex's most recent battle was against Aftershock in Canada, and there's no more polar opposite battle rappers than Aftershock and Heartless. So he gets something new to work with, he gets something fresh, and I think a name like Heartless is something to motivate him. The last thing that guy needs is motivation. He's the most motivated, writer in the game, but I think Heartless will definitely bring out a new fire out of him that a lot of names that he's currently battled have not. And hopefully that'll do the same for Heartless. He's battled the Clipses and the Nestles and the everybody's. Maybe I can't get shown up by this young bucks. Maybe I should try a bit harder too. So either way, both of these guys at 50% are still 3 times better than most battle rap writers in the game.
Yeah. It's an interesting matchup, as is the next one. Just give me your initial thoughts on Reverse Live versus Rosenberg Raw.
Alrighty, well, first of all, today is Reverse Live's birthday. I know it won't come out today, but happy birthday, Reverse Live.
Happy birthday.
This is an interesting one. Reverse, I think, as much as I want to be known as Mr. Bunker for, just the backstage reasons, I think Reverse Live is really making his name as Mr. Bunker with the J Dose and just all the
R.I.P. Farrell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so, like, he's been putting in work there as well. Reverse Live knows that if he wants to establish the Bunker as his stage, he's got to knock it out of the park every time. And so far, so good. I think he's batting 1,000 with every Bunker of a battle he's had. Mm-hmm. Rosenberg Raw, he much like Heartless, his resume is Reed Dollars. He has a lot of street guys: Big K, Eness, Shotgun Shug.
Yep.
He knows what it's like to have the spotlight on him, and I feel like Reverse Live is just so motivated to be battling these smack guys lately. These URL cats are just because that's what Reverse Live has rapped forever. He's always been a rapper.
Oh, yeah.
He was doing aggressive gun shit.
About like one of the earliest, events.
Oh yeah, exactly. Going back to he always has battled smack guys. No, I'm totally kidding. But yeah,
I need a PG, man.
Yeah, right. So get versus Sue Surf.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean Rosenberg Raw. I hopefully he takes advantage of coming out to Cali and embracing a new stage, because he's made his mark on the RBE and the Crack Liberty, the smaller but noteworthy leagues on the East Coast. And now it's his chance to come out to the biggest stage possible in California and show a whole different side of the country what he can do. We know what Reverse Live can do out here. So it's just kind of like the biggest kid in one school going into a different school's playground and picking on their biggest kid. It's like, all right, who's going to win this fight for the slide or the fight for a Lunchable, because they're both kind of fat.
I love Rosenberg Raw. Like, a part of me loves him. I don't know what it is. Like that, like he can say shit that makes like, oh god, yeah. Like when he just talks about like cooking crack on the Raw on the corner and shit. It's just like there's some sort of odd authenticity, and his face. He has a great face for listening to bars. He has the best
face. Rosenberg Raw is so the least generic looking battle rapper you'll ever see, just because he has a weird complexion and freckles and a scraggly beard, and he's bigger and he's shorter. He just looks like someone that you're like, okay, I need to know what this guy has to say. And oftentimes what he says is pretty dope.
Yeah.
So his look and his skill is just this wonderfully colorful combination.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to say he gave birth to kind of the sort of bitter white boy, but I mean, Glueasy kind of in his wake seems to be kind of have similarities, maybe,
Yeah, and he always looks like he smelled a fart. And he always has that kind of disgusted look on his face that he's just so sick of everything around him.
And I think maybe he could just be quite grumpy here and kind of have a go at Reverse Live's kind of like, stoner, kind of liberty, like, getting drunk lifestyle. And it's interesting what they would do, because he's a smack rapper, as you say, kind of thing. I can see that being an angle for Reverse Live. And Reverse Live, he's another one, isn't he? He's just been forever. He's been around, this guy. He's been battling so long.
Reverse Live battled at the first Battle of the Bay, and he was about 19. I think it was him and Tantrum. He's been battling before he could drink, and he's known for drinking, so that's quite a discrepancy. But he's been battling forever. He's battled everyone on the West Coast. He's battled Disaster. He's done it all. And I think flying out these guys like Dose, like Rosenberg Raw, it's kind of motivating someone who's been doing it forever and can kind of use that motivation to, light a light. I don't want to say the same shit over and over, but to light a fire under them and say, okay, now I'm battling these smack guys that I've been watching forever, and let's try something new. And so I think And I think Rosenberg Raw would have fun writing for Reverse Live, just because I would like to think he knows Reverse Live is a 6'3", fucking 200+ pound white boy from Cali who's known for drinking 40s all the time. How can you not write for that? So I actually think this might be the funniest battle of the night, solely because they both have a lot of great elements from their opponent to work with. And if anyone could really trigger humor, obviously besides guys like Carter Deems, those two can do it.
Now this is a question for the audience, but more for you because I'm kind of going to do it live. But Rosenberg Raw has done 2 other King of the Dot battles. Who were they against?
Oh God! See, I didn't. They were.
That's quite a hard question.
They were. I know he has simply, but and I know that they weren't obviously any big world domination. No. Okay, one was against Skelly.
Yes.
The other one is a guy like Skelly. Like there's like 5 guys that kind of blend together.
He's a hated King of the Dot roster member. So
it's like there's these 4 or 5 guys that just kind of like you can swap in and out. Skelly and Tycoon Tax.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So correct. And again, those are no offense to Skelly or Tycoon Tax, but Rosenberg Raw has battled much bigger names, and I think Reverse Live is the biggest King of the Dot name he'll have gotten yet, and hopefully he takes advantage of that.
Yeah, who knows what it could lead to, but I think Rosenberg Raw, he'll do well from this kind of closed, intimate bunker environment, and I do prefer.
And he's gonna sweat. Oh God, that's gonna be the sweatiest battle of the night.
Yeah. The guy, he sweats, that's kind of his thing, but he's a pretty comeback guy. I want to shout out Zombie Pool Party. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah. Zombie Pool Party, Reverse Live's drunken garage punk band. Available for weddings and bar mitzvahs.
Yeah, I had on the podcast, and obviously he battled Reverse Live very early on Grind Time. We're talking about it, and I was doing some research beforehand, searching Reverse Live, whatever interviews, etc. And he mentioned Zombie Pool Party in the interview after the battle, so I googled them, and the only thing I found was them rehearsing in a garage, like you say, and it's pretty good actually. It's actually pretty funky and pretty diverse. I really liked it.
At one point, they were a very active band playing backyards and shows and stuff. They're a bit of a running joke in battle rap because, it's Reverse Live's garage band. But yeah, and it's a wonderful name.
And I ran this by he didn't really respond. Fair enough, he just didn't really get the reference. But are you aware of Bert Kreischer?
Bert Kreischer?
Yeah.
No.
He's a US comedian. He's kind of a contemporary.
I was going to say, that sounds like a British comedian, but...
yeah, no, he's sort of Cali-based, Joe Rogan contemporary, but he looks like Reverse Live. One day, someone will get that reference.
Damn it, I feel awful for not getting a California stand-up comedian things, especially since that's what I'm going to be doing at the bunker.
Do you go to the Comedy Store at all?
The Comedy Store? I have not been to the Comedy Store in years.
But you have been?
I've been there. It's a legendary place, just because everybody's been there. There are a lot of great comedy clubs like the Fillmore and the Comedy Store that are in Laugh Factory. They're just kind of landmarks that you have to go to because, Carlin's been there and Pryor and Lenny Bruce and everybody's been there. So I've been to a few of the big clubs, but not in years, which is intimidating because the day before the bunker event is a stand-up comedy showcase I'll be a part of, and I haven't done it, and I haven't done stand-up in a very long time, so it should be very interesting.
And it continues. We spoke about this last time you were on the show, but stand-up and battle rap, they coalesce.
Absolutely. It's the hand-in-hand public performance, entertaining a crowd with their writing. There's a lot of parallels. Being nervous and shitting your pants on stage, but trying to keep it a secret. The little trade secrets that performers keep to themselves. It goes hand in hand. The camaraderie between the two, if you battle long enough, you're going to run the same circuit as if you're doing stand-up comedy with someone. You're going to be on the same card with the same people over and over. So there's a lot of parallels between the two. And I'm really happy the lines are being blurred because I feel like if you enjoy stand-up, there's a good chance you'll like battle rap and vice versa.
And who else is featuring on that card with you?
I know for a fact it's myself and Carter.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, I didn't do it because Carter was on it, but
What's Carter's comedy like?
As much as he is one of my absolute best friends, I've never seen him do stand-up live, and that's just as exciting for me as a fan as it is a friend, because he's obviously a hilarious person. If you're friends with him on Facebook, he posts a lot of really great one-liners, almost Mitch Hedberg-esque. It's got a bit of a hint of Dimitri Martin to it, but he's much better than Dimitri Martin. Wow. He's just a wonderfully, subtle writer. And much like his comedy, or much like his battle rap, it's not vulgar. It's nothing edgy. He's not gonna, hey guys, abortions are blah blah. He's Carter. He has his own twist to it. So if you enjoy Carter the battle rapper, you'll most likely enjoy Carter the stand-up. Myself, Dirtbag Dan's hosting it. We got FLO. He, West Coast battle rap vet who.
Yeah, he teamed up with Lush One, didn't he?
Stand up first. Yeah, I think he started doing the stand up thing before any of us did. Wow. And then we also got some real stand ups. Jamar Neighbors from the film Keanu from Key and Peele. We got Brian Moses from Comedy Central Roast Battles. Huh. So. We got Rory from the Dirtbag Dan Show. We just have if the battle rappers don't hold their own as comedians, we'll have real comedians there to fill the void and to make sure the entertainment is there. So it's a stacked lineup and it's going to be great.
Is anyone going to be filming anything? Or?
I believe that it will be streamed. I can't confirm it, but what I've been told is that it should hopefully be streamed live on the internet the day before the bunker event. And as what's been the case in the past is if it does well, if the quality's good, if the fan reception's great, it might get uploaded on YouTube after the fact. So, if it goes well, you'll be seeing it on many mediums.
Excellent. So we'll push on to the next battle, which is Cali Smoov versus Cicero. Cicero, I know a little bit about. Cali Smoov, I remember seeing him battle on King of the Dot. He was battling Danny Myers, and it was a one-rounder, but I was impressed. Delivery, very, very, energetic, passionate. I found it quite compelling. Oh,
yeah. Cali Smoov is, again, a very animated, colorful person where he keeps you awake during his rounds and with his hair. He has very interesting hair. But he is a guy who his resume, is another one that's just loaded with names. He's battled Caustic and Danny Myers. He's battled Rum Nitty, rest in peace, Young B, The Future, John to Don. He's battled guys. He's battled names. So he obviously doesn't. You don't get that way by being a slouch, and you learn from experiences like that. So I think he has enough names under his belt to hold his own against a guy like Cicero. And Cicero is a guy who obviously hardcore battle fans are very excited to see. Cicero's Minnesota Luke's favorite battle rapper, and he is the biggest street battler nerd in the world. He's battled, he's come back recently on Smack. He's battled Ty Law.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
He battled Bill Collector a couple months ago. But he's a Lions Dead guy. He battled 10 years ago over a pool table. He was on, DVDs and mixtapes. He's been battling forever. And he has a really strong reputation that, he might not have the 4K high quality battles recently, but he does have a lot of great gutter shit quality VHS battles of that people swear by 10 years later.
Yeah.
And he has the street cred to definitely make a splash and to get people excited about him coming to a place like the bunker.
Yeah, good matchup for Cali Smoov then.
Oh yeah, Cali Smoov. He never half-ass anything, whether he wins or loses, you can tell he tries really hard, which is admirable. I enjoy it when a battler doesn't try and he just kind of swags his way to the finish line. But he writes and he takes advantage of the platform he's given. And I think Cicero is just going to come out to Cali, be Cicero, and it'll be of a bit more polish versus grind, which is great, which is going to be awesome. And I think I can't imagine that battle not having some degree of replay value for any given reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm excited for that one as well. And before we get into the next battle, it's just generally, it's quite a stacked card, isn't it? It's quite a long card.
It is. I was almost offended it's so packed, because I was under the impression it was just going to be another humble little, 4 killer battles. Oh, cool. 2 hours of the best battles you can imagine. And now there's like 8, and they're all awesome. It's like, dude, this is almost overwhelming. You got an entire day's worth of just killer battles one by one by one. And I really don't like to work that hard, and I feel like I'm going to have to work pretty hard. So it's like, that's cool, I guess.
So what are you going to be doing? Pay-per-view and stuff, or?
I don't know if I'm going to be doing the pay-per-view. I haven't gotten that word. If not, it's fine. I believe Battle Rap Chris recently got married. Congratulations to him. Yeah, a very lucky lady along with his wife. That was a joke. Yeah. And then, but no, I'm going to be there doing backstage interviews for Ruin Your Day. The first bunker event, I was able to get about 20, and I feel like looking at this card, I can get at least another 20. So I'll be running around like an idiot with a GoPro. And basically, my job at the bunker, if I'm not performing or doing commentary, is, hey, need me to tear tickets? Want me to flip burgers? Want me to kick this drunk guy out? Let me know, man. I want to make sure that venue is as inviting of an atmosphere as possible. So I'll be doing something. I hate just standing around. So I'll be busy.
Excellent, man. Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the interviews that you commence.
You got to get out here.
Yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah. No, I know. I'd love to. I would actually. I think maybe in the future.
If you come out here, you will have a place to stay. I can give you that guarantee.
Wow, thank you, man. Yeah, that would be.
And I will also get you a small box of breakfast cereal for. That's really all I can afford right now, but it'll be there.
Do they have Weetabix over there? Is that a British thing?
Weetabix?
Yeah.
We have an Americanized version of Weetabix.
No, Weetabix. B-I-X.
Weetabix?
Yeah.
B-I-X?
Yeah.
No. Is that a wheat cereal?
Yeah, but it's weird. It's a cereal, but it's more like you do like 2 sort of slabs of it, 2 biscuits, 2 big wheat biscuits in a bowl with milk. It's not like a little, it's quite, yeah.
Well, do you guys have frosted mini wheats there?
We have Frosties.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, I believe we might have an Americanized version called frosted mini wheats, which are wheat cereal cubes drenched in sugar. We always add sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
I'll take care of you, is what I'm saying, Tom. You'll be fed.
Yeah. No, that sounds good, man. Because especially. There's so many possibilities with the bunker card. That's what I love. There really is no distinct identity, and this again is branching out, isn't it? It's just showing King of the Dot can really, I don't know, I just love it. There's no sense of ad nauseum, even though there's been maybe 5 or 6 bunker events now.
This is actually the fourth. This is the fourth bunker. I mean, the second and third were 2-day events. So going by the numbers, there have been 3 bunker events with 5 days of performances at the bunker. Just to split hairs, I guess. But yeah, this is the 4th event, and this, like I said, on my show, it seems like every bunker event keeps getting better. This is the most diverse card. It's crazy because not only is it diverse, it's full of battles that any other league would kill to have.
No, entirely. And, I hate to be sort of sentimental in a way, but just this morning I was looking for a bookshop, and I was looking in the movie section, and I had this big hardback book all about the making of James Cameron's Aliens. And I was just going through it, and it was fucking awesome. Just these huge like photos and stuff. And like someone could make a great hardback book about the history of the bunker, maybe in years to come. But you know what I mean? Just all the events that went down and stuff. It's just awesome. It's just, it's a great spot. And I think very soon people will get wind of this as being a great cultural spot in LA rather than it just being a battle rap thing. It's just a cool kind of environment where stuff is going down. I mean, I'm saying that as an outsider. I don't really know how many cultural spots. In Oxford, for example, where I live, there aren't that many. So maybe it's shown a bit clearer. But we'll push on with the next battle. This is a good friend of yours, obviously, Carter Deams, versus another good match for her, Bonnie Godiva.
Yes, absolutely. This is, a match that I think a lot of people are gonna obviously not sleep on. This is a battle that you can upload on YouTube, having no idea it took place, and go, oh fuck, I have to watch this. This is gonna be good. Bonnie, I believe, is battling, I want to say, Caustic for Queen of the Ring versus Fresh Coast event happening around this time.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine two more polar opposite battle rappers than Caustic and Carter Deems to go back to back with. Caustic, Bonnie will leave the Caustic battle full of battle wounds and scars and torn to shreds. And she's going to leave the Carter battle feeling like the prettiest girl at the prom. Carter is going to swoon her and melt her heart and make her fall in love with him over the course of 3 rounds. And obviously Carter he sells himself as a very awkward, very, unconfident guy, and putting him in front of a nice, voluptuous black lady can only ask for, amazing results.
Yeah, every Carter matchup is an interesting matchup, I suppose, and it's great to see that King of the Dot strategy is continuing with Bonnie, pushing her further and further, on and on. And doing well out of it, and I think this is again another interesting matchup. Carter, he gets high up on the cards, doesn't he? He's a big draw.
He does. No, that's the thing is Carter is a draw. If you put Carter Deems on a flyer, you're gonna have battle rap fans telling their siblings and maybe even their parents and their friends, look, I know you aren't into the battle rap thing like I am, but there's this guy you need to come see. So you'll love him, I promise. Come with me. Putting Carter on a flyer brings out people that might not traditionally watch battle rap. I know, like the Funny or Die guys, the Epic Rap Battles of History guys, T-Pain, people who aren't professed battle rap followers have gone on record saying how much they love Carter Deems. So he is high up on the card because he brings an audience that nobody else on the flyer will bring, and he deserves it because he's the most unique guy in battle rap. If you try and copy Carter, it comes across very obviously, and he just has carved his own niche so well that he does get opportunities, big opportunities that I think he deserves. And he delivers as well. He battled Immaculate on a week's notice and did great. And I think the universal opinion is that he beat Ilmac. So he'll be up. And obviously Bonnie makes waves of her own. Bonnie, I think, has the most eyes on her than any female battle rapper in the world right now. So, she's putting in her own work, and the fact these two are meeting is nothing short of a main event.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of these bunker cards. There really is kind of a trivium of main events at the top, and you can pick your own depending on preference. And the next one is personally my event that I'm really, really, really looking forward to, just writing-wise. I think it's going to be a beautiful matchup between two comrades. Are they both innuendo still, Fresco QP?
I don't know where the affiliation lies with each other. I do know that this match is crazy in the best way possible. I think it's genius, and I'm very happy it's happening. I think everyone's gone on record saying QP is the forefather to how a lot of battlers write and rap today, which is true. Yeah. He crafted the style that a lot of people do a terrible impression of. A lot of people. And I think it's been established, especially since the Saurus battle, that Fresco is one of the craziest punchline writers in the world. And he has been before this. He's been a great writer forever. He's never choked, and he's always delivered well. So Fresco is just an extremely talented all-around performer. I mean, obviously there's things like delivery that QP can work on, but I don't think Fresco needs to improve on much. I think he'll always project better than his opponent. He'll always come across a bit more polished. And I think battling someone like QP is finally someone to kind of keep up with Fresco, somebody who they're going to just trade punches back and forth. When Fresco battles a guy like Kruger, it's a good battle. It's a style clash because they're clearly just very different people. But Fresco and QP make sense in that, all right, who's going to out-punch the other?
Yeah, no, I think personally I'm more of a QP guy. I just prefer his kind of quite audacious writing style, and it is very esoteric and knowing and kind of just he won't stop for you. But Fresco is unstoppable. Was Fresco's last King of the Dot performance Saurus?
I believe it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been, and that's again a performance people are still talking about. He won performance of the night that night.
Yeah.
And Fresco is very palatable. If you get how crazy Fresco's lines are, then it's something to behold. QP will do wordplay that maybe 3 people in the venue will get, and he won't give a fuck. He'll keep going. He'll be like, this, and this with freaking like 3 entendres in it, and just if you miss it, sucks for you. So I think this is a real writers showcase between these two, and it's going to be a spectacle.
Yes, exactly. It's going to be one to be studied, and I think they are going to bring the best out of each other. They're both incredibly intelligent guys, and yeah, I hope. I mean, you don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be a friendly kind of banterous? Maybe what Sora's Fresco is going to be more of an exposing session because they've both been so close in the same team. Like, there's so many weird angles that could be set up, or it could just be a very just joyful kind of exhibition.
Exactly. And, both of these guys, I want to say both of their last two, I don't know. I can't remember the last year entirely, but they've both battled the Saurus recently. And the Saurus, both of them had a very jovial, friendly performance against him. Full of just camaraderie and no tension, just battlers appreciating each other. That's what it's like to battle Pete. He'll give you your props. So who knows? Yeah, I know for certain it won't be boring.
No. And topping it out, B-Magic Eness.
There we go. As we've probably both said a bunch of times, this is a match that could headline any event, any league, any event. It's a match that when it was announced, it's like, oh my god, this makes so much fucking sense. Why hasn't this happened yet? It's just 2 of the best rappers. And this isn't just, I don't want to signify writers, performers, this. Just 2 of the best rappers in the game. B-Magic to me has been one of the best writers for a very long time. Eness has really hit his stride in his last few battles because he had to overcome, his hissy fit against DNA.
Which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, no, that in itself is... And I think that if you ask a lot of people if they rewatch DNA versus Eness for any reason, it's to watch Eness. Yeah. It's to enjoy the show he's putting on more than DNA's rounds. So I think that has a lot. He provides a lot of replay value for whatever reason, and both of these guys are just top tier talents and deserve to be a main event. And it's fucking awesome that it's happening.
Yeah. I can't wait. I mean, B-Magic, of course, there's been a lot of kind of upsets around him and Av at the moment as well. So that adds slightly to the drama. B-Magic, always been one of my favourites. I think writing-wise, the guy's absolutely exceptional. I think he's one of my absolute favourites. Eness, the intense emotion this guy can rouse up through his rhythms, like him versus Bill Collector's one I'm thinking about. Him versus Chronic that I mentioned prior. Again, not the best writing... not the best battle writing wise, but his hype man goes crazy in that. Really helps him after every line. He goes, yeah, like what? Like, just and like I think in the bunker, that kind of backup could really do damage because it's such a kind of 150 room, event. This could be and just the intensity as well. It's going to be such a long day of classic battles. Just people have been on such a high.
It's absolutely wonderful that you mentioned that. I don't know. I didn't watch the actual announcement, and I haven't talked to Avocado, so I can't confirm the certainty of this. But and hopefully this isn't just a joke, because otherwise my heart will be broken. If you've ever seen Eness versus Iron Solomon, there's a wonderful gentleman in a wheelchair during the battle that chimes in with the he's become known as Grizzlemania guy. Whoa, just a wonderful background character. He did it through all the Grizzlemania 2 battles, Disaster and No Can Do especially. But he became known as Eness's kind of surrogate hype man. And supposedly that gentleman will be at the bunker for B-Magic versus Eness. So the hype man adding to the flavor of the battle may very well be an extreme thing happening here, and it would be magical and beautiful. And just when you think a battle couldn't get any better, it just may very well. And, you know, again, yeah, Eness is another guy who's clearly been battling forever. He was on MTV 15 years ago rapping. So a lot of people might think his style is antiquated, but I think he's really adjusted to being an active battle rapper, and his writing has become a bit more polished. And it's crazy. A guy at his age with his experience continues to get better. And to keep up with one of the best in the world, B Magic, it's going to be a legendary night.
Yeah, no, it's an incredible event to top it off. You know, just mouth-wateringly good card. Shout out to the guys at King of the Dart, Avocado, J-Pro, everyone else involved with the making this card. The event, unbelievable. I'm happy you're going to be there as well, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing the footage that you're going to get.
I'm upset you're not going to be there.
Yeah. I know it sucks, but
are you going to be at 8th birthday?
Yeah, I should be. I should be possibly at the second day, which will be in London. The warm up, maybe at Leeds, but I'll be at.
Are you gonna kick a freestyle at any point in the night? Spit it darker.
No,
Drats.
No more battling for me. But Soliloquy is retired. But anyway, that is the Battle of the Bunker. That is 29th of October. Awesome card. Can't wait for so many of these good battles. You know, I'm sure there'll be a pay-per-view as well, which you must get if you're listening to the build-up of this. But Laugh-N-Stalk, thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Tom, you're my best friend, and I love you.
And finally, how did people, Twitter, they just follow you, how?
You can follow me on Twitter at Dr. Laugh-N-Stalk, Dr. Laugh-N-Stalk. Yep. You can find me on Facebook under Brett Pullen. Weekly Battle Feed on the Ruin Your Day YouTube channel. Subscribe to Ruin Your Day for all your battle rap nonsense. And email, if you have a tryout battle you want me to watch, email me, minnesotaluke@gmail.com. And also, if you want to pay attention to anything, if you want me to send you money, subscribe to Battle Rap Resume on YouTube and iTunes.
Yes, please subscribe to those shows as well. And thanks so much, bro.
Not a problem.